The extended forecast for the Dixon entrance to Cape Decision coastal area, including Craig and Klawock, issued for tonight. Rainy and windy. Lows around 43. Southeast winds 20 to 30 miles an hour, becoming north around 15 miles an hour late. For Tuesday, showers diminishing in the afternoon. Highs around 50. West winds 15 to 20 miles an hour. Chance of showers 90%. The 7 p.m. Alaska Daylight Time observations for Monday, October 23rd. Juneau, rain and fog. Temperature 43. West winds at 3 knots. Pacific rain. Temperature 49. East winds at 40. Temperature 46. Southeast winds at 12 knots. Cake, cloudy.
I had a life back in London and a job and a nice car, and I would constantly moan about what was going on in the world, about climate change and about the environment. But I just felt that I wanted to do something more, and I've always wanted an adventure as well. Funniest thing is I'm absolutely petrified of flying.
I do it all the time. Not on this trip, but... Hold on, shut up. It fucking annoys sometimes. I notice when you're hungover, you're really anxious and paranoid. You shouldn't drink.
This is getting dangerous. Let's go for a walkabout. I want to see if there's any environmental groups or anything. Apparently there's people that monitor the glaciers and stuff here.
Isn't it a glacier? It's pretty good for a Brit. But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
I can't think what I was saying now.
You've flown over lots of these glaciers.
Yeah, and we've noticed them all retreating. But how far do they have to get before it starts being a real problem?
We have to ask, what time scale are we talking? Because glaciers have advanced and retreated much greater amplitude than anything we've seen in the last century, obviously many times. We know that from, we talk about ice ages, right? I think the rate at which change happens is very, very key. The population changes its traits, its behaviors in order to fit a new environment or a changed environment. So if the environmental change is very abrupt, is very short relative to the generation time of the species we're talking about, then adaptation is less likely. Extinction is more likely. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is adaptation, by definition, involves lots of deaths.
There's a lot of discussion that, well, with global warming, the forests will actually be more productive and grow much faster, but all of the parts of the equation for a healthy forest kind of need to be in place. It's not such a huge, vast area of landscape full of mature spruce trees. So fire suppression may have played a role in that, and again, the influence of global climate change has likely had great impacts here too because of changes in our winter weather conditions and changes in our summer conditions. The trees are going through a drought stress period.
We travelled for 2.5 months on 3,000 litres of fuel, flying 6,000 miles from Canada to Alaska. We were hunting stories of climate change in our attempt to raise awareness. But stories were harder to find than we first thought, and sometimes weather, money and problems with our airplane became our priority. We got a bit of a leak.
See if you can plug it up with your finger. Yep, right here.
Mm-hmm. Is that our leak?
It's one of them. Right here?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll haul it out of the water and glue it there tonight.
As a pilot, I'm often able to see what those on the ground cannot, such as the huge logging cuts hidden by trees bordering the highway, or the footprint of a glacier retreated. The challenges of the trip were not limited to the difficulties with the airplane and locating stories, but also with the relationships in the group, with emotions and tempers that conflicted in such a colossally small space.
We still got a big leak then?
What?
We still got a big leak then?
No, it healed itself overnight.
Where do you fly to in Alaska? Okay. Alright, thank you. Bye. I didn't fly to Alaska. I don't get it though. I've got 90 days legally in the States anyway.
You need a green card. You can only go overland. They have to take pictures and fingerprint you, and it's in Alcan, and we can't land in Alcan. I need to see that chart.
How am I going to get there?
I don't know, get your thumb ready.
So this is day 2 that the boys have been gone. And they finally got in contact with me yesterday and said that they couldn't leave because of the weather. And they're trying to get through today. But I have an interview lined up in 2 hours. Highly professional. And I've been sat in this hotel room for 2 days now and I'm going a bit stir crazy. Did I tell you today that I hate you?
Why is that?
Why do you hate me?
Because you ran off with my cameras.
You knew that. You knew that was going to happen.
No, you were supposed to go for one afternoon and you
we
come
said
back
we were
2
gonna go
days
overnight.
later. You just wanted to go off and go and do some boy adventure and you took my cameras and...
I think we probably got some pretty amazing footage, actually.
Yeah,
That
and
wasn't
you
a
could've-
boy adventure. It was a really serious, interesting story.
You could have done it after we'd finished here. To attend a conference on climate change, but I think the most I learnt on this trip was from the people we met. Real people talking about their concerns and not just scientists behind podiums throwing out figures and facts and pie charts. Sometimes it was frustrating as we struggled to get camera-shy locals to tell their tales, and I often wondered why I was even out in the wilderness at all.
Do you see the helicopter?
No? Where?
There's a crashed helicopter right there. That's why we stopped here.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
There's cougar tracks and fucking bear tracks. You have a fucking mouth.
The approach here is okay.
It's not okay. And this is better to be old and have nobody in it. I just had one of the most amazing moments of my life flying over a glacier and now I've come to grizzly sanctuary.
I think there's a bit of a wet spot. Oh, Jesus!
What is it?
Seems to be just a water bottle.
Are you taking it? We're not having some potentially dead guy's water bottle in our plane.
Well, he's not using it. He didn't take it with him.
That's not even funny. Steve! Oh my god! Stephen!
Pair of boots or something.
Go make a fire. That guy, when we got in the car, was had his shotgun. He's like, "Yeah, there's tons of bears, man." So, whatever.
If there had been a bear around here, there would be signs saying a bear has been spotted in the area.
Oh my god!
It's not a dog's.
Okay, we're going now.
I think actually when I first came down here, I could see him just walking off in the distance.
They're like really recent.
Dangerous, large animals that are not easy to predict. So I think it's a healthy thing to
Thank
be
you.
afraid of them. Wow.
I like you.
She tells us where we have to sleep. And the most ridiculous thing, we were staying in one place and there was a gazebo, and she tied a network of ropes across the entrance to it.
Catch the bear stumbling in.
Yes.
It helped you sleep though. It's
Yeah,
a
it
good
did,
investment.
exactly. Like it took me like 10 minutes to put some ropes up.
Worth a lot of sleep.
And I went straight to sleep, and no bears came in. I think a bear could walk straight through there.
Oh, I think you're giving her an undue hard time here. She's got some good strategies for wilderness survival.
Exactly.
Girl from London makes good, you know?
Thank you.
The hypocrisy of this all was the fuel we used. I had hoped that if we encouraged enough people to make changes, we could offset our usage. The simple act of flicking off the lights while watching this could, if viewed by thousands, save hundreds of pounds of fossil fuels. I see that the potential changes we make to slow or halt global warming is dramatically improving our way of life. More public transit, bike paths and electric bikes, clean energy sources like wind, solar and tide. I see the future for what it could be, and that maybe global warming is the catalyst to make those changes for a better world.
What's your name?
Benjamin Young.
Okay. And this is your granddad?
Right, this is my grandfather, Claude Morrison. I noticed like the past 2-3 years the tides have come dangerously close. I thought to just almost overflowing into by our house.
It's getting higher all the time.
By the time I'm 40, I can't imagine what it'll be like then. Because if it's been such a drastic change in my lifetime, in my young lifetime, then I don't know. I don't know what the future will hold.
The glaciers are just melting like heck. They're just dropping and dropping and dropping. You know, so that's a danger. We're going to be like Florida here. That's what's going to happen eventually.
Can wildlife and can humans adapt and change as fast as the climate change is going to require us to do? And I think those are some of the questions we have to try to answer.